بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. وقال الله تعالى في القرآن: وقال موسى يا قوم إن كنتم آمنتم بالله فعليه توكلوا إن كنتم مسلمين. And Moses said to his people that if you believe in Allah and put your trust upon Him, if you truly submit to Him. So ya ibadullah, indeed, tawakkul is from the greatest forms of ibadah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَتَوَكَّلُوا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. And put your tawakkul, your trust and reliance upon Allah if you truly believe. So here we see that Allah tabarak wa ta'ala has made tawakkul a shart, a condition of iman. He made tawakkul a condition of faith. And likewise, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala has commanded His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to place his tawakkul on Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah said, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكُّلُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. And when you, O Muhammad, have taken a decision, then put your trust in Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us with placing our tawakkul in Him. And likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَعَبُدُهُ وَتَوَكُّلْ عَلَيْهِ. So worship Him and put your trust in Him. So Allah Azza wa Jal commanded tawakkul, and He praised the people of tawakkul. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that He loves the people of tawakkul. In numerous ayat, from them Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ مُتَوَكِّلِينَ. Indeed, Allah loves those who are mutawakkilin, those who put their trust and reliance in Him. And wallahi, whoever places his tawakkul in Allah Azza wa Jalla with a true tawakkul, then indeed Allah Azza wa Jalla loves him. And when Allah loves him, He is happy. This individual will be happy in this life, and likewise he'll be happy in the hereafter by being one of those beloved people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the fact that Allah Azza wa Jalla has mentioned His love for the people of tawakkul in numerous ayats, it shows and it indicates to us the importance of placing our reliance and our trust, our tawakkul in Allah Azza wa Jalla. And we learn from our classes on tawakkul that there are many acts of ibadah, many acts of worship. You have worships that are done with the limbs. You have worship that is done with the heart. Like tawakkul is one of those actions that is done with the heart. And we find that the station of tawakkul in the deen of Islam is something that is very important. And some of the people of knowledge have said that tawakkul from the deen is like the head to the body. So the individual who does not have tawakkul, trust and reliance in Allah Azza wa Jalla, that he does not have deen. Just like the body which does not have a head. And it's well known and understood that if an individual loses his head, then he loses his life. And likewise, on the deen, when your deen, your religion, when it loses tawakkul, then it loses its soundness. And therefore, it cannot be a correct and sahih deen. So tawakkul on Allah Azza wa Jalla has a tremendous place and status and station in regards to ubudiyya, servitude to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah distinguishes His believing servants from other than them by way of tawakkul. And therefore, whoever does not place his trust and reliance on Allah Azza wa Jalla, his tawakkul on Allah, then he is indeed a disbeliever. He is indeed a disbeliever. And whoever places his on Allah, his tawakkul on Allah, and on other than Allah, in a way that is impermissible, then he is a mushrik, he is a polytheist. And whoever places his trust, his tawakkul, his reliance on Allah alone, then indeed this one is what? A muwahid. He is one who actualizes tawheed, whom Allah Azza wa Jalla loves and is pleased with his actions and his statements, because they are based upon sound foundation. They are based upon a sound foundation. So we say, look at ourselves. First and foremost, myself, because my mouth is closer to my ears than yours. So we look at ourselves, and we have to truly place our tawakkul on Allah. To ask ourselves, do we truly place our tawakkul, our trust, and our reliance, and our dependence upon Allah? And placing your tawakkul on Allah, it means entrusting Allah with all of your affairs, and relying upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all of your affairs, and not turning to other than Allah Azza wa Jalla. So ya ibadullah, when you are faced with hardship and difficulties in this dunya, when you're sitting in your house and your rent is coming up and you only have 2 pennies in your pockets, do you stop and reflect? Do you remember the promise that Allah Azza wa Jalla has made us in the Quran when He says, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَاجًا, that whoever places his tawakkul in Allah, whoever fears Allah, Allah will make for him a way out from every difficulty. وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ, and He provide for him from places he couldn't even imagine. وَمِنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ, here go the point, here go the shahid. وَمِنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ, and whoever puts his trust, his tawakkul in Allah, then Allah will suffice him. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla will suffice him. And this is a promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rabbil Alameen. So with this, you have to have patience with putting your trust in Allah. You have to have patience, because Allah provides from where He wills and what He wills to whomever He wills, whenever He wills. And one of the talks of our noble Sheikh Abdul Rahman Sa'adi, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, advising us, he says, Ya ayyuhan nas, attaqullah, O mankind, fear Allah, wa tasimu bihablillah, and hold fast to the rope of Allah, wa tawakkul fi umurikum quliha ala Allah, and put your tawakkul in all of your affairs upon Allah. And then he mentioned the ayat, call Allah ta'ala, ala Allah فَيَتَوَكَّلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Now, وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَيَتَوَكَّلُ مُؤْمِنُونَ. And in Allah, the believers put their trust. In Allah, the believers put their trust. And then the Shaykh As-Sa'di, rahimahullah, he mentioned the hadith that is well known to us from the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's authentic. He said, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا سألت فاسأل الله, if you ask, then ask of Allah. وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله, and if you seek aid, then seek aid of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And Shaykh As-Sa'di, he said about this isti'ana, he says, فاستعانة بالله والتوكل عليه مع أعظم واجبات الإيمان. He said that isti'ana, seeking aid and assistance from Allah Azza wa Jalla, and putting your trust, your tawakkul upon Allah, is from the greatest of the wajibat of Iman, from the greatest of the obligations of Iman. وَأَفْضَلُ أَعْمَالُ الْمُقَارِبَاتِ إِلَى الرَّحْمَنِ. And he said that it is from the most virtuous of actions that draws us closer to Ar-Rahman. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, لو توكلتم على الله حق توكله. Now, and the Prophet said, if you were to place your tawakkul on Allah Azza wa Jalla, with a true placing of your tawakkul, then surely Allah will provide for you, will provide for all of you, just as He provides for the bird who goes out early in the morning, himasan, starving, and he returns to his nest at night, at the end of the day, batanin, having a full belly. So we take from this hadith that the Prophet ﷺ is describing the mutawakkil, the one who puts his tawakkul upon Allah, with two characteristics: that he endures, or he goes out seeking the provisions upon the legislated means, and having a strong dependence upon the creator of these means. Ya'ni, meaning that he puts his tawakkul, his trust in Allah Azza wa Jalla, and then he goes out and he puts in the work. He goes out and he puts in the work. Inna Allah yuhibbu mutawakkilin. Indeed, Allah loves those who put their trust in Him. But you have to likewise put in the work. And you have to take the legislated means. It's narrated upon Umar radiallahu anhu that when he was objecting to a group of people who were sitting around in the masjid for worship and were dependent on others, ya'ni, to fulfill their needs. So it's reported that Umar radiallahu anhu beat them and ordered them to seek provisions, saying, you know that the heavens do not rain gold nor silver. And we know the meaning of the saying. If we think of the meaning of this saying, the statement we heard our parents say it, and we heard someone in our lifetime say it to us, that money does not grow on trees. Meaning what? That you have to get up and work hard for it. You have to put in work. So likewise, the Muslim man has to put his tawakkul upon Allah Azza wa Jalla, and the Muslim woman had to put her tawakkul upon Allah Azza wa Jalla, and take the legislated means to achieve whatever it may be that we're trying to achieve. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَتَوَكَّلُوا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ اللَّهُمَّ جَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ وَحَسْبُنَا أَنْتَ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. Ibn Qayyim, rahimahullah ta'ala, he once said that at-tawakkul, putting your trust and your reliance upon Allah Azza wa Jalla, is nisfu deen. It's half of the religion. As for the other half, he said, that is inaba, that is returning to Allah and repentance from every sin. So ya ibadallah, no doubt at-tawakkul is one of the greatest forms of ibadah, as we mentioned. And we need it now, we need it yesterday, we need it always. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He said, وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَتَوَكَّلُوا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. And put your trust and reliance upon Allah if you truly believe. So here Allah Azza wa Jalla has made tawakkul and trust and reliance as a condition of Iman, as we mentioned. So it's very important that we seek legislative means and we put our reliance and our trust in Allah Azza wa Jalla for all of our affairs. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla make us from those who are mutawakkilin. This is what I have with me today. I mentioned on the subject of tawakkul. And may it be of some use Anything I said that is not beneficial, then likewise is for myself and from the whispers of the shaitan, my lack of knowledge. And I ask Allah to accept this from us and to make us from those who are mutawakkilin, those who put their trust and reliance upon Him. Hadam indi wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah sallallahu wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.